What is up, gentlemen? NYKF31 here, Madden 19, SSL Online CFM, Week 12, you can see there, scrolling down the bottom, Broncos and your Carolina Panthers. Wet day, that means receivers slipping around their routes. Almost always the one that would have been wide open is one that falls down. Hopefully it doesn't happen too often, but when it does, it is irritating. So anyway, in my custom Baylor's-themed, Art Briles-themed spread playbook on offense first, I'm running this both in the CFM I'm in with this team and also with the Jets. I run it very differently with both teams. This team with the Panthers, with Cam and Christian McCaffrey and all that, much more spread it to run it. Zone read, lots of inside zone, in addition to, my customary passing game. Jetsies, much more of a pass to set up the run type of deal. With Stan Darnold, he's not going to be able to run zone read, keep, and QB power, and all that stuff nearly as well as Cam Newton can. So, same playbook, different looking offenses because of different looking personnel, which is the way, which would make sense. So anyhow, we're on the march here first. And this game, for most of the first, well, pretty much all the first half, and for most of the game, running was pretty tough sledding. I was not really getting much cooperation between my O-line and the fronts I was facing. I thought that the fronts I was facing presented me with good opportunities to have some good success on the ground, but it just never quite materialized. So I had to open up and throw it more early. Like here on 3rd and 6. In hindsight, I probably should have taken the shallow cross once it broke all the way across the field since my protection held. But I saw, Curtis Samuel is so fast. He's 95, 96 speed. When I see him on a slot wheel, and he has, when he's even or has a step, I'm going to take a shot at it more often than not, because more often than not, he's going to win. He's going to get by the defender. And there's my good buddy Austin Eckler. I have him on my Jets team in the Jets CFM. He's on the Broncos here. Good little, poor man's elusive back. He's really a good value for your CFM guys. Good speed. He's got juking and spins in the 80s. Really good value player. He also has Mr. Lindsey, so a good 1-2 punch. And Mason Rudolph is his QB. As far as weapons are concerned, my corners aren't that great to begin with, so as you see there, right on cue. We give up the contested corner route. Corners are Dante Jackson, Kayvon Seymour, James Bradbury still there, and I have Xavier Howard. Harrison Smith is still kicking around. In Season 3, he's not as fast as he was in Season 1, and really, even back in Season 1, Harrison Smith is, in that borderline range for speed. I don't know how I didn't get that for the coverages I like to play. But it's Harrison Smith. He's good at everything. He can play the run. He's got zone ratings to the roof. He can hit. He can play underneath, which I'm playing him more underneath. Because again, he's not really rangy enough to play a whole heck of a lot of match quarters, and he can always do stuff like that. Harrison Smith in underneath zones. His play record ratings are so high. He's not going to lose, or he should not lose, too many catch and traffic situations. Now, in Season 1, that would have been a pick 6, but again, he's just not quite as fast anymore. And, as a result, I got to play him more underneath than, in the match quarter stuff. And there we get a terrible UFO by Cam, and Cam will do stuff like that from time to time. When he gets like that, it's usually, apparent early, and I got to kind of game plan around it. Would have liked to run it in here, but I get called for holding. That's going to back me up. And, inside the 20, we all know that it's really difficult to get much done here passing-wise. I go for the high point there. Don't really get a good throw. I had some separation there at DJ Moore, but the defender is able to jump out of his shoes and make the play. Madden things. So, had to settle for the field goal. Up 3-0. Kind of disappointing considering where I started from, but hey. Just got to focus on getting stops and getting back down there next time. Single high, 4-3 over. We get Harrison Smith in the box, and we move the overhang linebacker out a little bit so that he can actually play something resembling force, which he would not do with his default alignment. He'll get hooked out of there repeatedly. And here we get the holy grail of pass rush. Contains And my 3 technique defensive tackle, in this case, Dontari Poe, who's pretty decent. I have Quan Short there as well. But Dontari Poe, he doesn't play pitter-patter. Does a nice little swim move and gets the interior pressure, beating the guard one-on-one. 3rd and 18. We back off the coverage, play protect the sticks, and James Bradbury whiffs. And we give up another deep corner route. That's disappointing. Bradbury just does not animate at all. But we get the user INT at the very next play, and we're back in business inside of the 30. Let's try to punch this bad boy in. Come out with wide trips, tight end attached. If we can't run the ball against that look, 5 in the box, there's no hope. It's going to be a long day if you can't run against that. Really a long day. You might as well throw every single down if you can't run against that. Go empty. We hit DJ Moore. And again, for you franchise guys, DJ Moore, he basically becomes an Odell Beckham Jr. clone. Similar dimensions, similar athletic ability. Has great catch and traffic ratings now. He can spec catch, he can jump. And there that's just a dumb decision by me. Again, you don't have much options there. I tried to stick a high point there. I tried to get it behind him to 6'5" punches, and it just doesn't work. So, squandered opportunity there. And look at Luke Kuechly. Let's go. 3rd and long. We're in cover 3 cloud. My safety just lets the post cross his face. He does not respond. So we've had 3 pretty substantial coverage fails out of this glorious secondary of mine already. Good run there. And if that continues, this game will not go very well. Anyway, we're in press quarters here. And my corner. And this is what happens when you jerk around the game too much. Things that were working properly end up getting borked, and things that were borked may or may not still be borked. What I think happened there is that when the back went out, all of a sudden that formation became a 3-receiver side, and that corner did not know what check he was in. That was straight cover 4 quarters. That was not palms. And it looked like he did not know what rule to follow. He did not know whether to sink back to his deep quarter. He didn't know whether to be in man lock, which he wouldn't be unless he was in cover 4 palms. Special check. Solo check, the solo side receiver on a 3-receiver side is the one who's man locked, not the trip side receiver. But when you throw in the fact that the receiver ran on that side and underneath route, he should have just kept on sinking back. But I think he just got caught in this AI vortex of not knowing what to do. While 2 updates ago, he was playing that formation, that route combination properly. The more they tinker with the game throughout the year that is outside of fixing obvious bugs and glitches, the more this stuff happens. And they gotta get away with that. Just clean up the obvious bugs and glitches. Don't be dialing the tuners back and forth to accommodate whining and bitching, because you end up hurting things that weren't hurt. That's the best way I can put it. I haven't seen an outside corner in match quarters do that all year, and I've been playing match quarters since August. So, there you go. So anyway, I'm down 7-6, and I got to get cooperation out of my secondary, or I'm going to not win this game. Because you just can't have constant busts like that all game long, or you're going to lose. And here's where your pass rush helps out your coverage. I invested in defensive ends a couple of drafts ago. They're both really, really good. And he actually had the post opening up, but he had no time. I was in cover 2. I kind of played the intermediate route there. The post was breaking behind it. I think he was looking there first, but by the time I came off of it, the pass rush got there. If you hold the ball that long, that's what should happen if you have good ends. And here is what happens when you tap sprint prematurely. But luckily I get a face mask penalty against him, and we get some additional yards. And here we're going to go with DJ Moore, one-on-one to the outside, get a spec catch, and there we go, finally. Going for 2 here. We don't get it. But we're up 12-7. Now we got to buckle down on defense and continue those good offensive vibes in the 3rd quarter. Bringing a zone blitz. He runs to the side of the blitz. Reggie Ragland does a good job. 3rd and long again. Come on, coverage. Get it done. Please. Please, please. forced a check down, and I think if he kept on running instead of trying to spin prematurely there, he might have gotten the first down or close to it. But either way, we hold 3rd and 9 for me. Again, was not having really good success running the ball. And again, Cam will do that every now and then. Leaves a throw too far up the sideline and incomplete. So he has the ball back again. And again, if you make someone have to hold the ball this long and you have a good defensive line, you need to be rewarded for that, and that needs to be a fumble. And here's me being greedy and stupid. Take the goddamn shallow cross. I wanted Samuel there on the seam route, but he gets pushed really far out wide, and it's not there. What I should have had either, I had the cross or the come back to the solo side, but I just, you know, again, we're human. We make mistakes like everybody else. He tries a 50-50 ball there. My quarters coverage holds. Does not catch it in bounds. 3rd and 7. Thank you. Thank you. Cover, guys. Please. So we hold there. So he's going to settle for 3, and we're still up. But, you know, I gotta get it going offensively. I can't afford to, you know, stay in this mode of squandering possessions. Light box. Got to run it. Finally, we get some space. Good tackle there. Christian McCaffrey on the spins is pretty lethal. Again, getting some rhythm there. Would have liked to have a better block there, but Curtis Samuel's not about that blocking life. You know, it is what it is. C.J. Anderson's turn. Now we're starting to churn a little bit. Again, got to be able to establish a run game against light box and against too high. Swinging out to McCaffrey. Whoop! Juke. His user defender collides with the corner. And we get those beautiful Christian McCaffrey falling forward animations we love so much. Get some extra yardage, so we're in good shape here. 3rd down, and I have the high point. I'll look at either a high point right cross or the high point dig. The high to dig, break it over, but got sacked, so had to settle for 3 again. I mean, all I can do is go through my progressions, make the right read, and hope the protection holds up. But, you know, that's got unlucky there, so at least we're still up, and it needs a touchdown to win, and we're kind of clamping down here pretty well on defense. And here we have Harrison Smith doing what an elite deep safety should do. Breaks on the late breaking post route. The late thrown post route over the middle at a single high. Gets the INT. We get the Y lead option keep. And Cam will split the seam and go. Let's go, Cam. We really needed that. So that gets us up 21-22-10. 2-possession game. Gonna go a little 2-man under with a mid-read in the hole. He runs a deep comeback. Only rush 3. You know, can't get upset with that. That took forever to develop, and only a 3-man rush. So, you know, it is what it is on that front. 2-man under again. Tries to hit the corner. Overthrown. Just kind of want to contest some routes here and change the look up. We'll give that up. You know, just don't want to get beat deep over the middle. Tick-tock, tick-tock goes the clock. Harrison Smith breaks on that. Harrison Smith played really well this game. Really well. When the elite player shows up on defense, it's a wonderful thing. So 3rd and change. He can risk there again. And again, we're just playing soft. We just don't want to get beat over the middle and deep down the sideline. So again, you know, in bend but don't break mode, pass rush shows up. Anthony Nelson, 2nd sack of the game. 2nd and long. Here comes our other end. That's Austin Bryant out of Clemson. We used the custom NCAA draft class. It's on PS4 share. Our first couple of seasons. 3rd and forever. You know, again, just don't want to give up anything behind us. 4th and 6. Let's get it done and end this thing. And we're going to get a 3-man rush, instant win, but off the edge, which is crazy. And that'll do it. Take a knee, put it in the books. That gets us to 9 and 3. So, there you go. Did not execute inside the red zone as well as I would like this game. You know, I was kind of sloppy in that regard. Got greedy a couple of times when I had safe throws for first downs here and there. Not my best effort, but, you know, we get it done. So, anyhow, my opponent played well as well. Got to give credit there also. And sometimes you just have to grind it out. And this is weird. Exactly balanced between run and pass yards. Don't see that very often. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoy. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Carolina, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, the problems just get worse.